everybody and welcome to the Beginner's Guitar Course. My name is Dieter Ulrich Peiser. Thank you so much for your trust in me and choosing me as your guitar teacher. So very quickly, before you get started with the course, I thought I'd give you a little bit of an overview and talk about what you can expect as you go through the Beginner's Guitar Course. First of all, as I just mentioned, my name is Dieter Ulrich Peiser, and you may wonder where this weird name and my weird accent is coming from. I'm originally from Germany. I transferred to the United States in 2005, and that's why sometimes I may sound a little bit weird. I usually go by Ulrich here. It's just a little bit easier, but you can call me Dieter or Ulrich or Dieter Ulrich, whatever you prefer. Now, with regard to the course, what you see right now on your right-hand side of the screen is what I refer to as the resource section. If you look in the upper right-hand corner, first of all, there is an email. You can use that email anytime you want if you want to get in contact with me. That could be to report a technical issue. That could also be because you have a question around the course or you need assistance with a lesson. Maybe you do not understand some of the content that I was trying to teach you. Then you would just send me an email and we will figure out what we can do to overcome that problem. Sometimes a quick email back to you is suffice. Sometimes we will get together over Skype or so, or I do a little extra video for you depending on the nature of the question. What you also see on the right side is links to other resources on Guitar Ingenuity, which is for instance a link to an online guitar tuner and a link to an online metronome. If you don't know what that is at this point, don't worry about it. We will discuss that in more detail later. You also see a little bit further down below links to each one of the individual sections of this course. There should be 25 or 26 links or so. In addition to that, there's checkpoints in between. These checkpoints are a good opportunity for us to just check in with each other and recap what we covered in the previous lessons. So these are opportunities for us to maybe get together online and figure out what is missing right now to get you to the next level. I recommend that you cover the lessons in their regular sequence because the Beginner's Guitar Course is based on a modular approach, meaning the lessons build on the content of the previous lessons. So it doesn't make sense if you just randomly now start with lesson 13. Please just follow the regular order. You do have access to all the lessons at any given point in time. So it's perfectly okay if you're curious and just want to, browse around and see what we're going to cover later on in the course. That's okay. But as you go through the program, please make sure that you just follow the regular sequence. At the end of lesson number 25, I believe, I added a couple of bonus lessons. Those are not real lessons. Those are just a couple of songs that I wanted to give you in addition, just to broaden your repertoire a little bit. You also see on your right side of the screen a link to the chord bank. Now, the chord bank is very important. The chord bank is a list of all the chords we learn in this course and many, many other chords that we don't learn in this course. You will always have access to the chord bank. Even after your access to the course is expired, you will continue to have access to the chord bank. I believe there are over 50 chord videos currently in the chord bank. And each video is around like 1 minute, and I show you in a close-up view what you need to do with your left hand and what you need to do with your right hand to play that respective chord. So a very, very valuable tool for you that you have access to at any time. Just to give you an example, in one of the earlier lessons we cover how to play an E minor chord. Let's say you forget how to play that in a few weeks from now. You don't have to go back to the lesson and try to find within the lessons the right point where I actually show you how to play the chord. You could just go to the chord bank and all the chords are listed by their name. You just click on E minor and a short video pops up where I explain to you within a few seconds what you need to do. What else is there? I think we covered everything. Oh, there's the guitar shop. I sometimes make references to tools or accessories that I believe are useful. Some of them are actually integral to get to you, that you get some of those devices just to make your life easier. And for example, a guitar tuner, clip-on guitar tuner. So I recommend that you get tuners, but don't worry about that. We'll talk about that in lesson number 2. I talk about guitars and guitar tuners and other accessories in more detail, and the guitar shop is just for your convenience a link that takes you over to a separate section on the website from which you can then buy, if you choose to do so, these accessories and other things, and you will buy them directly from Amazon through my website. So it's important that I mention that I will never ask for your credit card information. So whatever you buy through the guitar shop is something between you and Amazon. So coming back to the guitar lessons, one of the obvious questions is, okay, so how long does it take me to go through each lesson and through the entire course? And the timing is completely up to you. That's the big advantage of an online guitar course. You schedule your own timing, so it means, unlike regular face-to-face lessons where I would, get together with you like once a week or so, you can completely schedule the lessons in any way, shape, or form you want. However, in order to get the most out of this course, it is important that you incorporate a certain degree of regularity. What I mean by that is, it doesn't make sense if you, for example, say, okay, over the next 3 days, I'm going to practice like crazy, and then I'm not going to touch the guitar for a month. That doesn't help you. In the beginning, more than later on, it is very important that you practice on a regular basis. And it doesn't have to be hours every day. It should be at least 20 minutes, ideally 1 hour, ideally every day, but at a minimum 5 to 6 days a week. So the bare minimum is 20 minutes, 5 to 6 days a week. If you can do that, then you're in very good shape. If you can do more, that's even better. But the important point here is you have to do it on a regular basis. It should take you, if you can stick to that schedule that I just outlined, you're probably done with the course within the matter of 3 to 4 months, to be a little bit generous. But it really depends. That's only like a rough guideline, if you will. Some people learn faster, they have more time, they have, it doesn't really matter if you're more talented or not at this point, but I would say in general, based on the students who went through that program, I would say if you stick to a certain schedule, 3 to 4 months, and then you're done with it. Now you have access to this course for an entire year, and should 1 year not be enough, let's say something happened and you couldn't play for 6 months or so and you need more time, you just email me. I, of course, will extend the duration of your access at no extra charge. Speaking of extra charges, one important point. You can always reach out to me with as many questions as you have at any point in time. I will never charge you extra. If you reach out to me 3 times a day, I don't care. You will get 3 answers. So unlike other courses where, once you need personal advice, they start charging you, that's not going to happen here. That's part of your $49 payment that you just made. So don't worry about any of that. So one more point, as you practice, it's also important that you find an environment that is conducive to an effective practice session. Meaning, you should not be watching TV while you practice. You should not be on Facebook or in a room where it's really noisy. You really need that time for yourself and just focus on the task and on your instrument. That is very important. If you don't do that, and again, we're talking about a minimum of 20 minutes a day, so you should be able to find those 20 minutes within any given day. Then I'm just afraid you won't get as much out of the course as you actually deserve. So make sure that you have a quiet room where you can just be for yourself for 20 minutes, put your cell phone aside, and focus on the task. Then you'll get the most out of it. As you practice, also, just a couple of tips. Make sure you sit comfortably. And I don't want you to overthink that now. Do I need a footrest for my guitar? What type of chair do I need? So don't worry about that too much. We talk about that a little bit later. But when I started playing guitar, I was sitting on my bed all the time. So if you want to do that, that's fine. But it's important that you're relaxed, that you're comfortable. Especially in the beginning, when you start playing guitar, it will probably look a little bit more something like this, because you have to figure out where your fingers are, so you're a little hunched over and everything, and that's okay. After a while, you will see your position almost adjust naturally to a more relaxed level. As you practice or as you play guitar, make sure that your hands are clean. You don't want to, just coming back from an oil change, you did and then grab your guitar and try to do 20 minutes of practice real quickly. So wash your hands, make sure that your nails are short. That's actually very important, because if you have long fingernails, you can't really place your fingers on the fretboard, on the strings correctly, because your nails will be in your way. So at least as far as your playing hand is concerned, that's the hand with which you will build the chords. Make sure that your fingernails are reasonably short. And I know for some of the ladies who use artificial nails, that's sometimes a little bit tricky, because the nails really get in your way as you practice. So as far as accessories is concerned, we talk about that a little later on, but just to get you started, what you definitely need is a guitar tuner. It doesn't have to be this particular model, but you need a guitar tuner. And in the guitar shop, I put a little section together for guitar beginners with the items that I believe you absolutely need and that are useful. If you're worried about the price, this little thing costs under $10, I believe, so it's really not that big of a deal, and you need it in the beginning because your ears are just not trained enough to tune the guitar just by ear. You need a little bit of help with that, okay? And you obviously need a guitar. So we'll talk about where to get the guitar from and what kind of guitar you should get in the next lesson. So don't worry about that too much. I will help you with that. One, in order for you to save money, here's my suggestion. Get an acoustic guitar, ideally with nylon strings, not with steel strings. But if it's a Western guitar with steel strings, that's fine too. Try to borrow it. It's very likely that one of your friends or your family members has a guitar, and as long as it's halfway decent, you can start out with that guitar. Why spending money on an expensive instrument if you don't have to? However, if you decide you want your own guitar, in the next lesson, talk a little bit about a specific model. It's actually this model that I'm using right here now. It's the Yamaha C40. It's, I believe, under $150 or in that ballpark, and it comes as a kit. So you not only get the instrument, which is actually a very good instrument, you also get a tuner, you get a gig bag, you get separate strings and all knickknacks, some of which you don't really need, but you get a very decent instrument at a very reasonable price. And as a matter of fact, you will see this instrument throughout the whole course. among others, like you see here, for example, I have my Western guitar. But for just to get you started, I will talk in the next lesson a little bit about the things that you need and how to select the right guitar. So always keep in mind, if you have any questions, use that email in the upper right hand corner. Just click on it, send me a quick email, and I will make sure that you get a response in a very timely fashion. So that's it for now. I'll look forward to seeing you in lesson number 2, where we talk about the guitar and you'll get a proper introduction to the instrument. Then in lesson 2.5, that's one I kind of squeezed in between, we talk about tuning your guitar, because that's a really important task. And in the beginning it can be a little bit challenging, but don't worry, we'll do it together. And then in lesson number 3, we'll learn our first few chords. In lesson number 4, I believe, we learn a couple more. And in lesson number 5, we learn our first new song. I look forward being your teacher throughout this program. Again, if you have any questions, you know how to contact me. See you later. Bye-bye.